Dun 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 Shoge World. Welcome to Shoge World, gamers. Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to review this week's new game releases, new game announcements, and a few news stories. If there's anything I may have missed, let me know in the comments. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, now, on a side note, I did want to let you guys know there may be a few news stories and announcements we may have missed this week. I had to make this video a few days earlier than usual because we actually spent most of the week at Universal Studios in Hollywood, California. We will be arriving back home later today, so expect some super fun Nintendo World info coming soon, as we got to take a closer look at the progress being made on this amazing looking Nintendo themed land coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. Alright gamers, as always, we will start off with this week's new game releases. And we're going to start with a game called Metal Hellsinger. It was released this week on next-gen systems, so PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X, along with PC. Now, this is a rhythm-based first-person shooter with a heavy metal soundtrack. We did check out the game a little bit on the channel, so I will link the video for that at the end of this one so you guys can check that out. Next up, You Suck at Parking was also released this week on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, including being released on Game Pass day one. The game looks pretty frantic and fun. It does have online play. I'm looking forward to checking this out when we get back from our trip. 13 was originally released back in 2003. I kind of remember playing it on my GameCube. The game is a cel-shaded first-person shooter. The game was announced and remastered back in 2020, but fans of the game found the remake extremely disappointing. It had a lot of bugs, a lot of glitches. So the publisher Microid hired a new developer to take another shot at this remaster. The game is out now on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, as well as Nintendo Switch. Also, a game called Wayward Strand. It's an extremely weird sounding game that released this week on the PlayStation, the Xbox systems, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Now, from what I understand, it's a very dialogue-heavy, story-based game where you are interacting with patients aboard an airborne hospital. Alright gamers, next up we're going to take a look at a few new gaming announcements. And we're going to start with a game called Disney Illusions. It's a multiplayer platformer starring Disney's Fab Four in the animation style of the new Mickey shorts. The game was announced during the gaming showcase that took place during the D23 Expo. It is scheduled to release next year as a Nintendo Switch console exclusive. Now, also during the D23, we got a brief teaser for an upcoming Captain America and Black Panther game. It turns out this is the much-rumored Marvel project that Amy Hennig, one of the main talents behind Sony's Uncharted franchise, has been working on. Now, while this game isn't released till next month, we did get info on DLC that will be coming to Mario plus Rabbids Spark of Hope. It was just a teaser, but it confirmed that Rayman is coming to the game. Now, a bunch of Assassin's Creed games were announced at the Ubisoft Forward Showcase, with Assassin's Creed Mirage getting the most info as the upcoming game is coming soon and taking place in Baghdad. A mobile open-world game, Assassin's Creed Chronicles, will be taking place in China, and two other Assassin's Creed games were teased in Assassin's Creed Hexe and the locale everybody has been wanting in an Assassin's Creed game. Codename Red is taking place in feudal Japan. Alright, let's finish up with a few news stories. And we'll start with the aforementioned D23 Expo. It kicked off this weekend with some big Disney entertainment and park news. They had a very disappointing gaming showcase loaded with mobile games and CGI teasers though. The Disney Illusions Island previously mentioned being the highlight of the showcase. I will link our recap video at the end of this one. Next up, Ubisoft Forward also took place on Saturday, giving us new info on upcoming games like Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Skull and Bones, a lot of Assassin's Creed info. We discussed earlier a lot of mobile games and much more. I will link our recap video for the Ubisoft Forward event at the end of this video also. Next up, Tokyo Game Show did kick off this week after this video was made, so we will discuss that as well as if any Nintendo Direct or Sony State of Play happened while we are gone. We will definitely have content up soon discussing anything we may have missed. All right, gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on September 16th. The week started off with the Disney's D23 Expo and Ubisoft Forward. Then, as the NFL season got underway, we packed up and headed to Universal Studios Hollywood to check out progress on Super Nintendo World. Then, the week ended as we returned home and jumped back into Splatoon 3. Let me know anything I missed in the comments, and if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Thanks for joining us today, gamers. Shows World out.